And this
What's he doing?
is to go even further beyond!
Yo, Sanjay Uchiha here, people, bringing you my review on Dragon Ball Super episode 113. Of course, sorry about that. Of course, as per usual, be sure to rate, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell to get notifications for whenever I upload. So, getting right into it. So, first thing, am I the only one that was totally caught off guard by the little preview they had at the beginning of the episode? With them showing, like, Caulifla and Kale basically gang up on Goku. And I'm there, like, see, I'm like, did I miss something? Did I accidentally skip through the episode? Like, tell me what was your experience with that, because that totally caught me off guard. Like, for a second, I thought it was a new opening. But, that aside, let's get right into it. So, episode 113 is Dragon Ball Super. Another decent one for the history books. It's an okay plus borderline good episode of Dragon Ball Super. I definitely enjoyed it. It was very fast-paced when it came on to the fighting and the choreography there. Definitely trademark that Dragon Ball as a whole is known for, especially the Z portion that people enjoy the world over. So I thought this episode, where that's concerned, was definitely pretty entertaining. Definitely entertaining with that. Of course, as I was telling a friend, is that this episode, though, it's kind of 50-50. I see what the writers are trying to do with how they executed the fight, especially between base Goku and Caulifla, but I think that's where the episode starts to get dragged down for me, and I'll explain what I mean. So the episode starts off, we have Goku versus Caulifla. Caulifla's in Super Saiyan 2 and Goku's in base, and immediately it jumps out to me that there's a problem. Power scaling is one aspect of this, but let me explain what I mean. So going into the tournament of power, you do remember that, hey, they were mentioning that it's not going to be all about power, even despite the name, ironically speaking, but focus should be placed on teamwork and strategy and all of that jazz and blues. But the thing is, we've watched the franchise, the Dragon Ball franchise, we've watched all this series up to this point, and if you've been watching, you know that strategy and teamwork, it only goes so far, and technique, it only goes so far in the Dragon Ball franchise. So when I'm watching and they're gonna try to tell me, at least the writer for this episode, that base Goku, who's apparently, relatively speaking, around Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla level, can overpower her or get the better of her using techniques alone, like the after image. Well, the after image is understandable. After image, instant transmission, those things are understandable. I can give those the bly. But in terms of just straight up combats, exchange of fists and kicks, you're telling me that Caulifla can't overpower Goku? And then you're gonna have Goku become a Super Saiyan 2 and not instantly body Caulifla. Granted, throughout the episode, we do see Caulifla power up more and more in Super Saiyan 2, but it doesn't like, it doesn't make sense to me. And let me put this in perspective for you people. Imagine during the Cell games, Goku went into the ring with Cell in his base form. You see how that doesn't make any sense? Like, and he overcomes Cell using technique and all of that. Now, it's not the case with other series, like say a Naruto, where one character can be stronger than the next, but you can beat them based on strategy and technique. Like, Dragon Ball kind of dropped that concept after a while, like using technique, or if not completely dropped, it's been moved to the back burner. So seeing it in this episode, it's like a 50-50. It's a plus. I see what they're doing. It's cool, but at the same time, it doesn't make any sense, because if Goku can exchange fists with Caulifla, really, I mean, he was getting overpowered, but he was hanging in there with Super Saiyan 2 Caulifla. and then when Goku goes Super Saiyan 2, you'd think that he instantly should body her. That's logically speaking. If this was Z, that's exactly what would have happened, honestly speaking. And granted, there is some way to say, yeah, Goku's base is way higher, considering he was taking on Caulifla and Kale at the same time in Super Saiyan 2, even though they did eventually push him to Super Saiyan 3, which was a pretty good good scene there. I definitely like it. If there's one thing, the art in this episode, well, I wouldn't say generally speaking, but in a lot of instances was pretty damn good. A lot of face shots were pretty good. Goku Super Saiyan 3, that scene was pretty cool. But generally, I thought the art was pretty okay plus. The animation, as I said, things were pretty fast paced. I definitely said the animation was good. I definitely love the high paced action. It definitely reminded me of the Z days in terms of fights, and even hearing Krillin mention that, hey, this is what it's like for two Super Saiyan 2s to fight. It definitely reminded me of Majin Vegeta versus Goku Super Saiyan 2. So that was kind of cool. Kind of gave me that nostalgic feeling. I mean, overall, it was just a fighting-based episode. Towards the end, Kale does join in, and as I mentioned, Goku manages to hold his own against the two of them in Super Saiyan 2. But she eventually transforms into her berserker state at the end of the episode, and that's really and truly where the episode ends. There's not really much more to say about the episode apart from that. In terms of double-edged sword, the art was generally okay to good. Animation was good, fast-paced, loved it. Nostalgic feeling, reminded me of Z. But based on the preview though, I should probably do a separate video on that. I mean, if you've seen the spoiler video I did last week, I believe, or during the week, you already know what's happening. And based on the preview, it confirms it. Potara Fusion is coming up, people. So there's that. Overall, I think that's all I have to say for this one. I don't know. It was just kind of ridiculous seeing that, honestly speaking. And to kind of elaborate more before I end off, you can obviously see that Caulifla is like, you might have those people who want to come in and say Caulifla was holding back against base Goku. No, she was straight up trying. She was like, why can't I hit this guy? So it's a bit ridiculous based on this trend that Dragon Ball has basically built up through Z, based on what the points I've put across already. So there's that. But anyway, Sanjay Uchiha, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought about the episode. And I'm looking forward to next week's episode, honestly, because if you see my spoiler video on the upcoming episode 115, you would already know that, hey, I already have a kind of an estimate in terms of how strong the new quote-unquote Super Warrior is gonna be. But anyway, Sanjay Uchiha, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.